I am 3 months into my van life adventure. So end of April actually saw me come back to Sydney for a couple of big family events. It was my son's 21st birthday and my daughter graduated. So it was nice to be back in Sydney, catch up with family and friends and colleagues. But the other big, other than those lovely family events, the other big highlight was I resigned from my job, which is the first time I've actually resigned from a job. I have yet to quit a job, so I tick that one off the bucket list. So I finish up at the end of May, and then no real plan, just going to go travel Central Australia and see where I end up. So that's exciting. So, oh, there goes a wallaby. My heart's just not in my job anymore, so I think I need some time away from the IT industry. I may come back, I may not, let's see. The other interesting highlight of the month was that I went to an alternate lifestyle festival called Confest out past Deniliquin, so out in the middle of nowhere on the border of New South Wales and Victoria. The 50th anniversary, and I had actually been to the first one as a 5-year-old, but really this was my first experience as an adult. It was great, it was amazing, but it was also a bit challenging. It was a bit outside of my comfort zone. I'm not sure that I'm cut out for community living, and I like my own space. But it was amazing, such a community run and led event, and just so diverse, and just so many special moments. African drumming at night under a full moon, the conversations, just little discussions, things like decolonisation, artificial intelligence, just, yeah, all diverse sort of stuff, non-duality, and then doing Qigong and doing lots of eye gazing, which was amazing, which is just sitting with a stranger and looking into their eyes for 90 seconds and then telling them what you see. Just little chats around the campfire, very liberating, loving environment. And at the end of it, I thought, oh yeah, I've done that now, I don't need to do it again. And now I'm curious to go again and get even more involved in it and become a bit more a part of the community. I got the suspension improved on my van, which took a few days. So I was in an Airbnb in Coledale while that was happening, down by Wollongong, north of Wollongong. So that was fun, just hanging out in a little apartment for a while. I don't miss having more space. Very comfortable in my van. Too much fun. So I have resigned from my job, and so I guess it's worth elaborating a little more on how I got to that point. I've certainly been thinking about it for a while, and then I've just have this feeling that my heart's not in it, and that it is holding me back from fully exploring what it means to be me. And so, I was thinking about taking 6 months off or 12 months off, but I decided that it was not worth it, that I needed to actually be free of that old stuff and that old safety net, and really let it go in order to explore other options. And so, yeah, there's many weeks and months of journal entries contemplating, should I quit my job or not? When I think about exploring a more creative side, in particular, making a documentary or an artwork or something, something much more creative. And so I had this day, it was a Monday, had the day off to myself, and I thought, oh, I'm going to go into the city and just go for a walk. But then on the way into the city, I decided, oh, why don't I just walk across the bridge? And so walked across the Harbour Bridge, gorgeous day, and then I got into the rocks and I'm like, oh, well, I wouldn't mind going to the Museum of Contemporary Art. I might as well, pop my head in there and have a look. And so I went in, and they had an exhibition that was related to AI themes. And so I'm like, well, this is perfect because AI is something I've been thinking a lot about recently as well. And so I spent this day in at the Museum of Contemporary Art, just really enjoying all of these very interesting exhibits. And in particular, there was a lot that's video based, or there were 3 that were just visually stunning. One of them involved lying on your back, and it went for like 23 minutes, and you're staring up at this sort of sky, this big circle in the sky that's projecting all this stuff, and it's the creation story of the universe with indigenous themes. So that was amazing. I did that twice. And then the other one was this sort of Sri Lankan artist, and it involved mirrors and multiple screens. And so I was sitting, it was like I was sitting looking at a mirror in front of me that was reflecting what was happening on a screen behind me, but at the same time they would project stuff onto the mirror so that you wouldn't see what was behind you. And so it was just this constant chopping and changing, and the fact that I was sitting there in the middle of it and there was no one else around, it was incredible. And so I was so inspired by that experience. And what I hadn't mentioned was that at lunchtime I got a call from Camille, and so we had a good chat, and I was thinking about quitting, and there was something in that conversation, I don't know what it was, just something in the way we were talking that made me realise I just need to do it. I just need to resign. So it was all of those just sort of hard to explain signs and feeling and intuition that all just combined to say, yeah, it's the right time. Do it, explore it. So yeah, next day I resigned. I planned to drive out to Uluru, be in Central Australia over June, July. I wonder if this kookaburra will stay there long enough to have a chat. He's very cute. Rightio, that's that.